Hello, welcome to another episode of Somewhere Between a film and TV
Sorry,
podcast.
dude. I was trying to fix my posture. I was like, wait, no, I'm kind of tired.
It doesn't matter. We're recording late, and we are your hosts. I am Daniel Parra.
And I'm Erwin Trejo.
And number one, thank you so much for listening and watching. If you could, what are they going to do?
Like, comment, and subscribe.
And number two, what we like to do here is we review movies and TV shows.
Yes.
Imagine you just got out of the
which
theater.
one are we doing?
Borderlands.
Okay.
Imagine you just got out of theater. You saw one of the best movies of your life. Definitely not what we're about to talk about. What you're going to do is you're going to occasionally get off topic and circle back around. Erwin, we're reviewing Borderlands, the movie.
Okay, wait. Let's just think of some titles. I was borderline meh.
Meh? I thought I would go into cardiac arrest because I was borderline towards... I can't think of the rest of it.
I'm dying.
I'm dying to talk about this, Erwin. With this movie, it is well known. We're going to get into a lot of things here. It's well known.
How often do you play video games, Erwin?
How often do you play video games,
Not
Erwin?
often. Not often. It's like, I already know what you're going to ask me. I'm like, Daniel, I
wasn't going to ask you that.
I feel like, I don't play video games.
You do occasionally. If Spider-Man, the game is out.
Yeah.
Or if I think you played part of God of War.
Not part of it. Dude, I remember I told you my PS5 isn't working.
Oh, yeah.
And my PS5 crashes every 5 minutes.
We're telling you all of this to say is I like Fortnite. And
I like Fortnite.
And what we're telling you all of this to say, we are not the most well-versed in video game stuff. I play about 4 a year. Full transparency.
I don't really play video games as much as I would want to.
Yeah.
I play a lot of Pokemon.
That still counts. I mean, I think it is not still. But I mean, you're always...
sometimes I play Pokemon Go.
Yeah.
I kind of stopped because I got I just kept playing it too much. And I was like, I gotta stop for a bit.
It was distracting you. You would be out in public and I'd be with you, and then you wouldn't be paying attention.
I'm like, stop talking to me. I gotta catch this Pokemon right now. It's important.
You're like,
it's community day. You don't understand.
Like how tablet kids are, but with
Pokemon Go. I mean, I get it because when Pokemon Go came out the first time, I was so excited because it definitely felt like I was in a Pokemon, I was in a world of Pokemon.
That was 2016.
But I had no data. And so after 10 minutes, I'm like, oh no.
Back when I would play Clash of Clans and then my phone would go to 50% after 10 minutes. Everything we review has full spoilers here, just so you know. This movie's bombing terribly. So I don't know if you have seen it or not.
It is?
Yeah.
How bad?
So this movie was made on a $115 million budget. None of that shows on screen.
No.
And I think this weekend it's making projected. It's currently Saturday night, right?
Yes.
As we're recording this, $10 million.
Damn.
This movie is a disaster, I think. But before we fully get into that, I also want to say... and ask you, I know the answer, but they don't. Oh. Do you have any familiarity with the games in any capacity?
Yes.
At all?
The poster with the guy going...
is it
like this? It goes like this or something? Is that the one
that Florian Munteanu plays?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
But I don't know if the guy goes like this, and it's just
I have no idea.
I think the poster, he shoots, the gun's right here, and he shoots himself, and then, it's of course it's the smoke, but in the smoke it's I don't know if it's supposed to be the world of Borderlands or something, but it's that, and that's what I remember, and that's all I know about Borderlands.
I have seen some covers that make it look like a toxic wasteland looking thing, which obviously it was, and the one that you're talking about, and I recognized Gina Gershon's character, the one that looked like a clown in that weird sort of brothel that they go to.
Oh, really?
I had seen that video game character, I think.
Oh, of course you have.
And the other one was... I don't know if Cate Blanchett's character is even based off of anything, really.
Yeah, I don't know either.
But we don't know a lot about this series, really, at all. So I'm going to ask you, Erwin.
Yes.
Going into this, did you have any expectations for this?
Or were you somewhere between?
No, I'm not there yet.
Oh, damn, dude. No, I had no expectations. Even if before the reviews came out, I was just like, well... I mean, it's a video game adaptation, and so
to be clear,
yes,
I like quite a few video game movies. We even reviewed the last thing we reviewed that was a video game movie. I think was Uncharted, and we were nice to it. We were nice to it actually.
I think I liked certain parts of it.
Yeah,
overall I thought it was all right. I don't really think I would watch it again.
No, I don't really remember. I mean, I have played those games though.
Oh yes.
So I remember the games really well, and I remember enjoying the movie.
I would love to talk about Detective Pikachu.
That's a great movie.
I love that movie.
I love
so much.
I love Arcane is amazing. The show, it's incredible.
Yeah, I hear good things about it.
Yeah. So it's not to say that...
I like the one song that Imagine Dragons made for Arcane.
Okay, yeah.
Guys, I like Imagine Dragons.
It's one of your most interesting qualities.
Erwin has qualities?
Erwin's Imagine... House of the Dragon, we'll save it.
Oh, no! That's good. Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're saving that for later.
This movie, I'll tell you my expectations for it.
Okay.
I know you didn't.
Okay, what are your expectations?
Okay. I didn't like the trailers at all for this, even when it first came out. I was like, this looks like...
I mean, the trailers look fine.
It looked like it was tailored towards people who like Guardians of the Galaxy, i.e. me, you.
EA.
Dude, whenever you see every time I see a video game logo...
Did they have it on that
one?
Yeah,
2K and Gearbox.
Oh, I didn't recognize that.
It's just every time I see the logos for video games before movies, it always trips me up. Like when I see the PlayStation one.
Where's my controller?
Just a really, really long cutscene.
Yeah.
But this movie, I didn't like that I could already tell that it felt as if it wanted to be lots of things. And that trailer felt... I was like, cool, okay. Based off of that, I felt like I got Mad Max and Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yes.
Watching this movie, I was telling you, I kept thinking, that's Indiana Jones, that's Han Solo, that's Star-Lord, that's Harley Quinn, and just like that same sort of, this is Mad Max, this is every movie of a blockbuster caliber ever.
Yeah, it's just everything was so, it's great. For a movie that was so, like, I guess, I don't know what you know about the production.
I know quite a bit, and we'll get into it. Yeah,
because I know you told me some things about it, but even the movie itself, it's so structured that you can genuinely guess what's gonna happen next.
Yeah,
and you don't expect any of the characters like to be in danger, even if when they're put in danger, you're like, well, I already know what's gonna happen.
No, so because how early did you guess that she's like the special one?
Oh my god,
like, pretty early, right?
Yeah, and I'm just like, dang. Oh, the line deliveries.
Oh yeah. Okay, before we get into, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. Our negatives is going to be a whole lot longer than our positives. So
let's do our positives first.
So let me ask you: did you love this movie? Did you hate it, or are you somewhere between?
I don't know.
All right, I'll be. I
don't want to. Wait. I don't hate this movie.
Okay.
I do dislike it a lot. So I get it. I'm not somewhere between because I don't.
Like, don't get me wrong. This movie fucking sucks.
I don't hate it, guys. I don't hate it.
So this morning, you saw it before I did. You were like, I didn't think it was that bad.
Dude, I saw this at a 9 p.m. showtime, and I was like, okay, like I'm not as tired. The entire time, I was just,
dude. Okay.
And I was in a packed theater.
Yeah.
I say that.
So this movie is supposed to be an action comedy. You could feel that they were going for jokes.
The action was there.
It was there.
No comedy. I
think jokes were made. They weren't funny. There were action scenes that were shown to me.
Yes.
In a capacity. I hated this. I thought this movie was a mess.
Or were you somewhere between?
I hated it. I'm not anywhere between anything. I can give you like 2 positives, and most of them are concepts.
Yeah.
And for the most part, I was aggravated. For the first half of it, I was just bored. And I kept thinking, is this what Erwin means when he said it's not so bad? If it's just like this, then I'll be fine. Yeah. But then Jack Black, and I know I told you this. Oh, yeah. I love him. Don't get me wrong. His character is a menace and a fiend, and I hated that character so much.
I love Jack Black. I can't. I hear his voice, and I'm like,
easily the worst part of this for me. Like, just completely. I hated everything he said.
Yeah.
Kevin
Hart plays the same character in like majority of his stuff.
The only reason I disagree with that is because I felt like they didn't give Kevin Hart anything to do.
I don't know. I mean, you mean like any character in that?
None of them have anything to do ever. Like I felt like Kevin Hart didn't even get a joke.
I think the one character I probably disliked the most was the Tina. Tina toy one?
I felt bad more than I disliked. I think because I felt bad, like just because the line delivery. I know that actress is young and is trying. Yeah. And I just feel like this general kind of.
I just didn't like her character because not because of the line delivery, because like that was pretty much for all the characters.
That's like even Cate Blanchett.
Yeah, everybody was just like, just throw with like a throwaway line.
Yeah.
How to, like, and just to make it where the other characters move on to like to the next story.
Yeah.
But I just think I didn't like the Tina toy one just because.
What was her name?
Tina something.
Yeah. Tiny Tina.
Oh, Tiny Tina. Yes.
Yeah.
I guess because for the majority of the movie, it was just the focus on her, and I just could not care about her.
You were supposed to care about two people, and it was Cate Blanchett and her.
Yes.
And Cate Blanchett is playing this in such a way that I know what they're doing. It's supposed to be this sort of. I don't care. Yeah. And
I'm just here to do a job.
Until I do care.
Until I care.
But the like her character arc in which she's like, I forget, she makes like a face towards that girl, Arian Greenblatt, and you're just like, when did this happen? This movie's like 90 minutes without credits. So
that's true. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. It goes by fast. In my opinion, it went by fast, but that's because if you just knew like where it was gonna go, and so it just kept jumping from one point to another. It just couldn't stop.
No, the moment where they go into that whole thing where they go into like that brothel, and then I'm like, they have to get something from someone that's sort of sketchy. I'm like, cool, I've seen Guardians of the Galaxy. I know the scene with the Collector. I've seen that movie before. Yeah. And it's so aggravating because it's just hitting all the beats that you know and not doing it in a new way, not doing it in a clever way. The writing is botched and weird and like has we've talked about this before we even started recording, and some of the weirdest, worst basic dialogue.
The dialogue was the worst part about this movie. Yeah. Even besides the CGI in this movie, there were so many scenes that were just look so bad. Yeah. Just the dialogue alone, I did not enjoy. I laughed out. I didn't laugh out loud. I just laughed. I was like, "Oh wow, that was."
There was one moment. I try not to talk during movies. You end up sighing heavily. Yeah. There was one with Jack Black where it cut to him like reacting to something for me, and that's when I was like, I hate this.
Or whenever he was getting shot multiple times, and he goes, "All right, guys, I'm dead. I'm dead."
No, okay, so that moment when. I think the best part of this movie is in the middle. If I'm going to give it any sort of positive, I like the concept of a bunch of weird underground psychopath people, like just sort of hanging out there. And it's obviously more in Eli Roth's territory.
Yeah. Because he hasn't made any like action movies, has he?
No, not at all. And you can tell that he randomly veers off into his like hostile sort of aesthetic. Yeah. Because it's gross and grimy and all those people are just hanging out and they're all
just dudes killing.
Yeah, but then this movie's PG-13, so you don't get to see any of anything. I felt like the action in this was also cut in a way that I'm like, this was rated R, wasn't it? Like this had to have been.
Dude, I don't know. This movie felt like it was missing pieces or longer set pieces too. Yeah. Because one of the positives for me, at least, was the production design. Yeah. So even though some of it just did not look good, but overall, I could see they were trying to build a world. Of just from I haven't seen anything from the game, but like try to build their own world, but they just showed something, talked about it for a little bit, and then moved on. Yeah, and they give us time to like actually like feel and how the world was.
I'm so tired of movies that tell me things about the world instead of actually showing me. Yeah. So the very
having
beginning,
the characters like just be in the world.
Like this movie gets off on the wrong foot immediately because she's like, "Let me tell you about Pandora," and I'm like, "I don't want to hear about this. Like, I want to see this."
But it's just the way she's saying it too. You're like, "All right, let me tell you about Pandora."
You're like, "Let me get Cate Blanchett in the ADR booth," and she's obviously like not worked on this movie for 2 years because this movie's been done for 2 years.
Whoa, really? Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Tell me more about the backstory of the production.
Okay, so before we get into that, I do want to get our full positives out of the way.
Okay. I honestly, I didn't really. I don't know. It's like I can't say I hated any of the characters as much as like you did.
I hated
just
one.
Because
I hated one.
Just because I liked all the actors and actresses. Like I think just because of that, the reason why I just liked them. They were just tolerable.
Dude, I think that's why I disliked that stuff even more because I was like don't know anything about Edgar Ramirez, but we'll get into that villain.
Oh my god.
But
I forgot about him. It's like you have to remind me.
Yeah. No, but Cate Blanchett.
Yes.
Tar is incredible. It's her best performance. I think it's really funny. I wish you knew the ending to that movie. But if you know the ending to that movie, the fact that she's in this is really ironic, is all I'll say. Because this was shot before Tar.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
And so I don't know. Cate Blanchett does not need money. She was in Thor Ragnarok. I have to assume that she got millions of dollars off of that.
Yeah.
I know. And the other positives is I like some of the production design as well. I think the costumes are cool. I think that some of the like weapon designs are cool and the vehicle designs.
Yes.
And as much as I hate Claptrap, that's a cool robot design. And
that is true. I did like that.
I like some of the aesthetic of the villains stuff that they're going for.
Yeah.
Was Atlas the name of the corporation?
Dude, whenever it was like, those are the Psychos and those are Atlas.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you just telling me?
No, whenever they're like, they have a thirst for blood. I'm like, do they? Like,
and I'm like, I don't really see it.
Like, they set each other on fire for like 2 seconds. And then you were like, they're monsters.
It's like, they're monsters.
I was like, this movie's so
We're
dumb.
not going to make it. No.
Dude, okay, no, when they're like, we need a distraction. From what? They walked 2 feet the other way. Something was missing or something because they were like, thank you for doing that or whatever. What did they distract from? They moved from one place to another. They didn't walk through them at all. They were already in hiding.
Yeah.
That pissed me off because I was like, what? Distraction from what? I was like, they weren't even doing anything. They didn't need to distract them.
I like that car chase that was happening.
Which one?
The first one. Where they all meet up. Like, like Kevin Hart. Krieg. Like, that was cool.
I liked a part of that up until the lady with the mullet. Did you notice the green screen in that?
Dude, there's many moments.
I know, but that was one of the ones where I was like, oh. It gets bad. It gets really bad.
Like,
and
it just sucks because there's so many moments too where you can tell they try to like showcase like the certain costumes that they had and like the design of it, but then there's other scenes where it just looks bad.
There's some things I don't want to dismiss entirely from this movie because I know that thought was put into it.
Yes.
The production design, it's a real tangible world that I wish I could have actually seen more of instead of being told.
Yes.
And like that, I think that was the thing that aggravated me more. Is that she was like, this is Pandora. It's a shithole. I'm like, well, how? Why?
Like, I would like to know.
Aside from the fact that it looks really ugly, but like obviously it looks ugly on purpose. I'm not talking about your green screen in the back, but the actual like.
What do you think about the flashbacks for Cate Blanchett's character?
So you haven't seen Madam Web.
No.
But I have noticed something with bad movies and flashbacks. They look the same. The flashbacks in specifically bad movies look really similar to each other.
Oh, okay.
And I can't really explain the reasoning for that. Because there was like this weird haze. And whenever it goes to flashback and she's like, I kept calling it the Dark Phoenix in my head.
Oh, the Fire Force or something?
I'm the Phoenix? I don't know.
Something fire related.
She's the daughter of something Iridia.
Yes.
I remember that much because they said it a billion times.
Yes.
But...
No, my favorite line will always be, I thought I was the special one.
Dude, that
was my favorite.
She's like, you were special.
You are special. But a different time. And I'm just like, all right.
You're like...
I'm like, okay.
You ever think that sometimes dialogue...
We're the one writing these movies?
No, where I was like, man... that was almost a Borderlands disaster, right? And you're like,
dude, that's good.
No, it's not.
That's the title.
That is the title already.
Oh, okay.
Because well, what do they say? We're on the Borderlands. Like
we're in the Borderlands now.
Sense, at least, no. If someone said that, I'd be like, all right, I guess.
Okay.
Dude. Okay. So getting into the production history of this.
Okay.
This movie, long time ago, I believe 9 years ago, was announced.
Okay.
It was written by Craig S. Mazin of superhero movie fame he wrote that superhero movie with Drake Bell.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I actually like that movie.
I know, but I just threw that out there because it's a funny thing that he wrote.
Okay.
And Chernobyl.
Okay.
And The Last of Us.
I've seen half of it.
Yeah. And The Last of Us, I think, is great.
Yes.
And I have played that game. I love the first one. I have not played the second one. And if you're going to tell me not to, I've heard the whole thing already.
Why?
It's just a controversial stuff about it. It makes some story decisions that are similar to like Last Jedi, apparently. If that gives you any indication.
I love The Last Jedi.
Yeah. But with this, he wrote a script that became a really hot commodity at the time because Borderlands was popular in the video game realm when it had come out.
There's only 2 games?
There's 3, I believe. And then there's a bunch of prequel stuff, and I just know that there's like 3 for sure.
Oh, okay.
And I've heard that 1 and 2 are great, and then 3 apparently also makes some creative decisions. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But that make it divisive.
I think the second one is the one with the...
Is it?
Yeah.
All I know is that there is a passionate fan base for these. I don't know what they think of this movie.
Yes, I would love to know.
Let me know, please.
Yes, I want to know.
We do have a friend that played these, and he thought this movie was horrible. So just throwing that out there. And whenever they'd sold this, it became a big deal. A bunch of stars signed on to it. I'm sure that's sort of why these are in this in the first place.
Okay.
But then, over the course of time, this movie kept changing and changing. And by the time it got to whenever they were shooting it with Eli Roth, the script was no longer the script that was promised. It was something else.
Okay.
And whatever script was written, it said Eli Roth and Joe Crombie, I believe, in the credits. And Craig S. Mazin asked to have his name taken off of this because he no longer wanted to be associated with this. And I believe there's a theory that some people think that Joe Crombie is actually like an alias for someone that didn't want their name to be put on this movie.
Why is that?
Have you ever heard of that? That people want, if they get their name taken off of something they're not proud of, then you can do that. You can like give a fake name.
Oh, really?
I believe David Fincher did that with Alien 3 when that came out.
The director and writer?
Yeah.
Credit?
The original.
Isn't he with like? Isn't his name like the?
I think it was for a while. I can't remember if that's a rumor or not, but obviously people know that he directed that.
Yeah.
But and then with this, there's a rumor that Craig S. Mazin did, and then it became all this stuff. And this was filmed 2 years ago. It had multiple reshoots.
I didn't know it was filmed 2 years ago. Wow.
And it was like multiple reshoots over and over, which is maybe explains the weird choppy rhythm of this movie. That feels like it. Although I guess they kept their character consistency. Everybody looks the same throughout the entire thing.
Yes.
But I find the casting choices here really odd because I do love Cate Blanchett. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. I love, I guess Florian Munteanu I only know from Creed.
Oh, yeah.
I love Jack Black.
He was in Shang-Chi, Razor Fist.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
And then I think he's in, I forgot what show. Oh, Vikings, I think.
Oh, well, I haven't seen him.
I haven't seen it either.
I mean, he looks the part.
Me looking through IMDb after the movie's done, I'm like, oh, what was he in? What was she in?
Oh, man, the Wikipedia.
Yeah, basically.
Well, what did you think of the casting choices of this movie?
I mean, I don't know what to compare them. Like, I really don't know the characters even in the game. Like, are these the same characters in the video game? I don't know.
I think that they exist within the game.
Okay. I mean, I thought it was interesting to see all of them together in screen.
I could tell you the archetypes they're all fitting. Cate Blanchett is so clearly Han Solo and Star-Lord.
Han Solo uses the Force.
And the reluctant hero who goes, maybe I will help save the day.
Yeah.
like, yes, dude, I know Wolverine. Awesome. I just saw a movie with him.
I am the X-Man.
Yeah. Like that whole, obviously, there's a formula.
Yes.
There's also a way to do this formula.
Yes.
And there's a way not to do it. And we just saw one where I would like to argue, because I love that movie, they did it well. And then I just saw one where I have never seen it so botched in so long.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just... I know it's already hard to make a movie, trying to, juggle so many characters, especially a team-up movie. But with this one... You were just already thrown in, and it was like they were just already forced to team up, and you didn't feel a connection between any one of them.
I don't mind being thrown into a world that I don't know anything about. Fury Road is incredible at that, for example.
Yeah.
And I'm bringing that up because this movie so desperately wants to be compared to other blockbusters anyway, or try and, I don't know, emulate them. I'm not really sure what this movie's doing or what it's going for, or what the vibe is even supposed to be, because I feel like there's these weird fast tonal shifts and then the jokes already don't work.
Yeah, all the jokes in this was not good.
Did
my theater So my theater was packed. Every time there was a joke, silence, dead silence. Every single time. I would look around. I'm like, nobody chuckled.
It's a video game. Good job.
Silence.
Dead silence.
Oh. Erwin knows video games.
Alan Wake. You don't know that. Alien Isolation.
Pokemon.
Go.
Go where?
Oh, the never mind.
No, I know.
To the polls, you know.
No, I know.
Okay. The Hillary Clinton thing.
All right, just keep
Pokemon
going,
go to the polls.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
And people think that that's why that game lost popularity for a while because that happened. Anyway, did you find anything funny in this movie?
No.
I liked the part.
I'm trying to think.
That you mentioned earlier, where he has to say all those things to like the crazy people, and then he gets shot multiple times.
Oh.
But then he says more things after that, and then I thought the joke got ruined because
I forgot about it until I just
because I was like, that's kind of funny, and then he starts talking, and I was like,
all right, guys, I'm dead. I'm dead.
And then he had then there was a weird poop joke where he like kept on pooping out all the bullets, and I was like, why is this happening?
But okay, when scenes like that happen, I would think that adds suspense, as in something else is gonna occur right after, but nothing happens. There were so many scenes where a character would just do something like a comedic joke, but because of the fact it doesn't come off as funny, that it just comes off as serious, and it's like, okay, is there a reason why this character is trying to do like a certain act in the movie, just to make a certain like action sequence happen or another character like plot to occur? You know what I'm talking about? Like,
I know exactly what you're talking about, because this movie is so operating on a level that it thinks it knows what it's doing, that it actually doesn't. Because, for example, the scene that's in the trailer that I guess they thought was so funny they had to include it was whenever they're in that, like, they call it the piss something. Oh. And I'm like, this is not a bad concept for a joke. Yeah. But also, all they're doing is driving through there. There's, like, no payoff. There's no pun. It's just, like, a weird sort of pee thing. Yeah. And then she rolls down the window, and then they're like, no, roll it up. And then it happens, and you're just like, okay, well,
I guess everybody has piss on themselves.
But why did that happen? Yeah. Like, what was the joke? They don't bring it up again after that. It's just like that one-time thing.
Oh, I guess Cate Blanchett only just brings up, it's like, what's your next brilliant plan? Shoot up another Kraken or something?
Oh, yeah. No, and then they drive through that thing, and then I'm like, I have also seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I know what this is. Like, the monster with the teeth that you, like, explode through. Yeah. I liked I didn't really enjoy her character that much, but I liked the way she blew things up inside of the dolls. That's a cool idea. Cool. Yeah.
I did like that too.
But it's funny because you're kind of going off of something that I really did think about this movie was the action is not good, and I don't like how it's staged. I don't like how it looks. I don't like that it feels as if there was no choreography of any sort in this at all. There's a moment where someone snaps someone's neck and you like barely even notice that it happened because there was
Tiny Tina.
Yeah, because you don't even hear it. Yeah, I was like, that's such a weird production error, but this movie's also filled with production errors. There's like a massive 30-second long scene where there's just an Axe body spray can. I don't know if you saw that. No, dude, it's just there with Bobby Lee and then I think Kevin Hart. Yeah,
where?
On the bar, like whenever they go and they're like, were they just here like every other movie like this? It's like, where are they? And they're like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I gotta see this movie again to see the Axe body spray.
Dude, it's long. It's just sitting there and it's like in your face. And usually I'm like cool with continuity errors like that, but this one was so blatantly in your face. It made me wonder if they're like, was that put there so you can get people to talk about it? So like then Axe body spray can be like, hey, what if we get like some sort of subliminal like something? I don't know. And then another one, and this is supposed to be like the shot of the movie, is like we're a team now, you know, like the team up shot. Yes. When they open the vault thing that's in the trailer, you can see someone's hand go across the camera, like, and that like a crew member. That's not them. It's like a error that we would make if like I accidentally touched the camera too soon over there, and you can just see it go over. And it's supposed to be like the shot of the movie. It's the shot when I go on Alamo and you can see the ticket. That's the one that they're using. Oh man. And I was like, this is so weird this movie was made on a gigantic budget, and I know movies are hard to make. You said that, so I don't want to like go off on this like disparaging cast and crew the whole time.
Yeah.
But it's such a weird thing that this movie's been sitting there for years.
Yeah.
And someone has been watching this over and over and being like, yeah, this is what we can do. This is it.
This is all we can do. I think that's the attitude, was it?
So I don't know if like, and I know that your biggest criticism of this, it sounded like, was, what's his name? Edgar Ramirez.
Oh my gosh, dude. I forgot that he was the villain because I forgot like, in the beginning with the whole mask thing.
Oh yeah. That's a cool concept. I want to say that. I want to say that although there's a weird, I could not figure this out.
What?
I couldn't figure out if they were like Cate Blanchett finds his assistant hot or something, because I don't know what things in this are even supposed to be jokes sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because she's like, she would never shoot someone of your stature, and the way she looks at him, she like raises her eyebrow like she's doing like a flirty The Rock face.
Yeah, I don't know. I did not get that.
I was was so confused because.
But then, I guess the villain shows up again at the very end of the movie.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just funny how his thing was, he has these like shield protectors.
Oh yeah.
And he uses a big rocket ship that he has.
That reminded me of the thing from Thor Ragnarok, where she has the gauntlet things that shoot from the ship up above her.
Oh wow, yeah.
Because it looked exactly like the ship from Thor Ragnarok.
Oh wow, I forgot about that.
So yes, Eli Roth, I've seen the same movies that you have.
But I wonder if it's Eli Roth or if it was like others too.
I don't even know, because I don't know what the actual ships look like in the games. And
I don't know either.
I don't want to discredit that because I don't know. And admittedly, this is one of our adaptations that I know less about, like in terms of...
Oh, yeah, me too.
Because I had at least played some of the Assassin's Creed games when I saw that movie. That movie's bad.
Oh, yeah.
But
I love Michael Fassbender.
He's not good in that movie either.
Damn.
I think it's interesting. Video game movies, if you were nostalgic for Doom, House of the Dead, or anything like that, Dead or Alive, you're about to have the time of your life, because this is like...
I forgot about Dead.
Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
This is within that pantheon of like, why are there so many famous people in this? Why is this bad? Why does this look like this? Then I want to ask you, because you keep saying, what do you think is like the worst of visual effects?
Oh, like the scene?
Yeah.
There was one shot of Krieg? I was like,
Wait,
Krieg. You know what I'm talking about? When he like, there's like an explosion behind him.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's obviously not him, and it's like CGI. And it's just like the way his body moved.
Oh yeah.
I just remember seeing it. Just looked so. It was obvious that it just looked so bad.
There was a couple for me.
Yeah.
One was the one I said earlier, where that like woman is flying through the sky. Another one is whenever the entire third act with Cate Blanchett's like fire wings.
Yeah, that was bad.
There's one where she starts flying up, and her face is so obviously a CG model, and you're just like. This is like, I love Spider-Man 3, but like, this is like that Spider-Man 1, where it's like that, when he's climbing up the wall, and it's so obviously like a digital render, but you know what that movie's excuse is? That movie came out in 2002.
Yeah.
It's 2024, and I don't know how any of that flew by, or like how, if they couldn't fix anything.
Yeah, I think it's what you said, the fact that probably those actors, they're like, I just want to do this one scene one time, that's it. Yeah. I don't want to like do any more. And that's the vibe that I got from a lot of these actors, probably except for the tiny,
who I think is trying her best.
She's trying her best.
Yeah.
I mean, what's his name? Krieg? I don't know why I keep saying
Krieg.
Krieg.
Like he's just some guy.
Some guy, Krieg. Yeah. Krieg. I feel like he was trying to. The only ones I didn't feel like they weren't trying was Jamie Lee Curtis, Kevin Hart, and then Cate Blanchett.
Dude, I keep forgetting Jamie Lee Curtis is in this movie.
Because in the trailer, it seems like she was in it.
Yeah.
Or she was going to be in it a lot, but she wasn't in it until like the later half of the movie.
Oh, also, this reminded me of One Piece. She fits a character called Nico Robin. Yeah. She's like acting like that.
Oh, I thought she wasn't going to be in it.
No, she's not. But that character reminded me of someone from One Piece. That's another show that's like, here's about a bunch of people that like are a bounty hunter crew, and they do these things together, and they're like not good people, but they are.
Would you want me to watch the animated show?
Only if you were willing to give your time to it, because it's over like 1,300 episodes now. So I've seen all of it, but with this, do you I want to ask very specifically.
Okay.
We don't get into this that much, and I feel bad that we're only talking about this now because it's bad.
Oh.
Is the dialogue.
Yeah.
And...
Well, no. I don't want to talk about it. It's just not good.
It's at an all-time low here.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
It's almost perfunctory in its sense of, hey, I need to get the script done. I need to get it done tomorrow. Yeah. What do people say?
How do you make it where you tell these characters, hey, these characters need to grow, but also move the story along.
Yeah.
And so you make them say these lines where it's so nothing, emotionless, bland, just to move the characters and like keep them going.
But there is no character growth. I couldn't tell you anything other than the fact that Cate Blanchett at the beginning goes, I'm not going to be in the vault in that bus. And then
I'm not a vault hunter.
I know.
And she became a vault hunter.
And then later he's like, I knew that you were lying or something. I'm like, this could work. A lot of the things, if they had any sort of chemistry with each other, if I thought that I cared about anybody, it's so weird because based off of how movies work, I don't want to be like, this movie's too short for me to care. Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, is like 19 minutes longer than this movie.
Yeah.
So I know it's possible. And like I think it's just in the sense of, what are you spending your time dedicated to doing? The line where she finds one of those stones or whatever and is like, they're like, how'd you find that? She's like, I don't know.
Whatever. She's like, oh, lucky, I guess.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what?
Like, Cate Blanchett, I love you, but like, what are you doing?
Oh man,
And I just kept on noticing.
Oh, what about what Jamie Lee Curtis says to Cate Blanchett? It's like, I'm assuming you're upset based off your body language.
She like literally says something along the lines of like, speak English, like, you know, the whole whenever a nerd in it is like,
I'm hacking the mainframe, and then he goes, I am doing this and that. It's English.
Have you seen the actual meme of that where he was like, they're fucking our pussies?
No, what are you talking about, bro?
And then the guy goes, understood.
Dude, okay, I need you to send me that.
Okay.
Oh,
this movie is so...
Dude, I'm sorry. Now we gotta end this fast because I need to watch that video.
Okay. It's not a video. It's just like a Twitter.
Okay, I need to see that.
Okay,
I need to see that. That's all I can think about right now.
It's just this.
Understood.
It's so dumb because like she didn't even say anything that nerdy. She's like, nice observation, or no, she says observant as ever, and then.
Dude, like, I'm sorry. You gotta.
But some of the, let's keep going for a second. Yeah. I want to complain about some more, but another thing about the character growth.
Yes.
At the end, you know how they're all supposed to be nodding at each other, and I told you this movie reminded me a lot of Fantastic Four from 2015. I know you
always be my favorite.
I know you said you thought this movie was not.
I don't think it's as bad as Fantastic,
and I do. And
yeah.
I think
it's close. Yeah. It's definitely like getting down there, but just because there's point A to point B.
Here's what this movie has over that. It made me bust out laughing right now, like in retrospect of how bad it was. Is this a perfect get really drunk with your friends and watch it at home and talk over it the entire time movie? Yes. Is Fantastic? No. Because I have tried doing that, and that movie's boring.
That movie's so bad. It's just like, I forgot. You told me the ending, and I forgot that happened. It just cuts off.
No, it's so weird, because I was telling you that now that Fantastic Four is back in the mainstream for obvious reasons. I don't want to spoil Deadpool and Wolverine in this if you haven't seen that, but also just based off of the trailer for the new one, that's like they're coming back into the limelight, and then people keep thinking about that 2015 one. And a lot of the weird stitched together feeling of it is back here, and I haven't felt that in a blockbuster in forever. It's why we have seen a lot of bad movies. It's why whenever we talk about Star Wars, The Acolyte, anything like that, I'm like, there's worse. You might not have liked it, but there's worse. This really is the worst that I'm talking about. This is like
definitely ones where I understand why you hate The Last Jedi.
Like, it's not, The Amazing Bulk or Love on a Leash.
I don't think they know those.
But in terms of big budget blockbuster filmmaking, this is up there with like Transformers 2, and is that sense of like this is annoying. It's in my face. It won't end, even though it's short. And
I wasn't getting angry though. Most of those movies like made me angry. Like Transformers 2 is just like I hate this movie.
Yeah.
But with Borderlands, I didn't feel like I hated it. I was just sitting there. I was like, oh my god, like.
Hey, take out the Erlands of Borderlands, and what do you get?
Wait, the Erlands
of Borderlands, and what do you get?
Hey,
bored?
Yeah, I got it.
Were you bored?
No. Or were you bored?
I felt...
Understood. I can't get over that.
You made a face earlier on where you were just like, that was me for like half of this movie.
I was like this.
When I told you, whenever I know I dislike something, I get a huge headache. Like, but when I got home, my head was throbbing.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this sucked, and I did not really like it at all. And
yeah, I didn't like it as. Yeah, I didn't like it.
Erwin, this is the part where I ask you, would you see another one of these?
No. No, I don't even think the actors would show up for this.
I don't think they would want to make another one.
Unless they were like unless they had a contract or something where it's like, if you want to be in these other movies, because you know how they do that.
Yeah, well, one for me, one for you. Yeah,
yeah.
It's why sometimes directors make their big passion project and then they go off and make a blockbuster. Christopher Nolan had that, but then he made the Dark Knight trilogy, so it's not like he did anything.
He actually tried.
Yeah. Well, he also, even if he didn't love Dark Knight Rises making it, I guess I still love that movie, and I thought it was amazing.
Yes.
And I think he liked it after overall. I don't really. I need to look that up again.
You can still tell that he cares.
Yeah.
So.
I do want to clarify this though, because we got into this really fast. Do you like Eli Roth?
I don't know him.
I know because he told me that.
Yeah.
Do you like his work?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
I'll be upfront.
I don't know much about his work, to be honest. I don't think I've seen a lot of things that he's made.
I know you would not like Hostel. It's directly in that line of stuff that you don't like.
Gore?
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't... Like, I can watch things that are gory. It's just the fact that if that's your only thing to use as, like, a horror element, then that's not really captivating towards me.
Only thing.
Yeah, then I just... Yeah.
Eli Roth's Thanksgiving, I love.
Oh, yeah, Thanksgiving was really good.
I think that's him at his best because it's not just that.
Yes.
He utilizes that in a way that, I will be honest with you, he doesn't in his other movies.
Okay.
All of his other movies are just that.
Yeah.
And I like Green Inferno. I like Hostel. I like all of the ones that I've seen of his except for this. And this is easily his worst. He doesn't know how to block action at all. I thought the setup of the scenes was so choppy because action scenes would just start and then they would just stop.
Yes, that is true. I'm thinking about it in the very beginning of the movie when you're introduced to Tiny Tina and then Kevin Hart, and it just happens. The action scenes, it's just...
No, that whole action scene, when it's over, it's just over.
Yes.
Like when they bust out of that Kraken thing and it cuts to the next scene.
Yes. It's
like it never happened. And it's so weird. I don't know what they were thinking in terms of the logic of how this was written, but it felt so... Things were missing, I think, or they just had a bunch of stuff written down.
Yeah.
And they're like, film it all. I don't know. And I get the idea here. I understand that there's a really great concept behind all of this nonsense I had to watch.
Yes.
And that's my positive.
Yeah. What were my positives again?
Your positives were you liked some of the set design, even though some of it was ugly.
Yes.
And not the like intentionally ugly stuff, but like the
Fuck.
And you liked Jack Black, or you didn't mind Jack Black?
I love Jack Black.
You love Jack Black as a person, but you have not said anything.
Hearing his voice just makes me happy.
You have not said anything about his character in this movie.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Well, what's your score?
Probably 1.5.
Yeah.
Out of 5.
I was torn between 1 and 1.5 because I feel like how I felt when I saw Madam Web earlier this year. And
I saw Madam Web.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, the 5-second gifts.
I thought you said that with Morbius. I thought that's your joke with that.
Yeah, but Madam Web also had it.
Okay. Well,
this is so funny. Watch the full movie.
I'm gonna give this. I'm gonna give this 1. I'm giving it 1 star. I don't want to be nice. I don't want to be generous. This movie's bad. It's horrendous. I did not like it. And
well, as if we didn't talk about it for the past 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Why didn't you like it?
You're like, really? I didn't get that out of any of what you just said.
I just ignored everything except for the parts that you said you liked, which is product design.
No,
product design.
I mean, would I play the games? Sure. They seem like.
I don't really play video games unless it's Smash Bros.
As long as the jokes aren't the same as this, Jesus.
Yeah, that's true.
But, Erwin, what are they gonna do?
They're gonna like, comment, and subscribe.
Please.
Mean comments down below.
Mean comments about the movie though, not
either. What
did you think of Borderlands? Did you love it? Did you hate it? Or were you somewhere between on it?
Wait. How would you put the title? Were you Borderland?
Were you Borderline?
No, I say Borderland. Wait, Borderland or Borderlands?
Borderlands.
Okay, I'm confused. Why was it called Borderlands?
Because they were on the borderlands of the galaxy. Because Pandora is bad. Oh, can I tell you one more thing I dislike before we wrap up?
Because I'm like, why was it called Borderlands?
In terms of the character development, the part at the end, whenever Ariana Greenblatt's character is like, "Are you?" and she goes, "Nah, kid," and then she's like, the whole thing where she wants her to stay as part of the team. And then Kevin Hart gives this nod, like he's like, "Yeah, I'll see you guys down there so we can party or whatever." Also, one more thing. Okay, did you know that the corporation was supposed to have taken over like that galaxy or whatever? Why are they all celebrating that they defeated the villain? He didn't do anything with them. All he wanted was the vault. Did you notice that?
No, I didn't. I didn't really care about the villain.
Because the entire town was celebrating the ending of it. But they never told us that he was in control of that galaxy, or he like as if it was Return of the Jedi.
The only time maybe it was a semblance is when they were getting searched. Yeah, they were trying to find them.
But the only reason they were doing that was because they had some sort of tracker on them or something. Mm-hmm. Also, she said that thing was busted and it never worked. How did they?
I don't know.
Did you? Yeah, so you noticed that too. I was like, what did that?
Because you said like, I can't believe you tried to. You damaged it again.
Yeah, and it's just like this piece of garbage was garbage the whole time. This movie was really bad, and I wanted to make sure I said those things before we wrapped up. Thank you, everyone, so much for listening and watching. Up next is going to be a review for House of the Dragon Season 2. Thank you for listening and watching again. We will see you next time.